Alright, hello there, fellow humans. I'm doing Twitch as well this time. I don't know if that chat works though. That's wonky sometimes. And open the door. Hello. It fell down. Okay. Now, this has the potential to be the worst race I've ever done, I think. My top two favorites currently are a 2.4-hour race on Imola in the BMW where I spun I think 9 times because the setup was wonky, and the other one was that Genesis race on Spa where I also got crashed into 3 times and I spun twice in that race. So this has definitely top 3 potential right here because this is Sebring, and I'm only gonna do this once. I think this is the only time ever that I'm gonna drive longer than 30 minutes on Sebring. And I'm doing 2 hours and 24 minutes this time, so 5 times as much. But yeah, this track is an absolute pain. It is great how detailed Limo Ultimate is, but when it comes to Sebring, that's the downside, because you don't want detail on Sebring. You don't want that. What's the qualifying? 15-minute qualifying. Now, I did 3 laps with the Porsche. I did 3 laps with the Peugeot. I got to 48.9, which is, I think, over a second off the good race pace. But yeah, might put this one everything correct here. 96. I always use 96 on the hypercars. Don't know why. But for now, we have this guy. We have a content creator. He's in my lobby in the GT3. That is funny. Alright. Well, where does that go again? Pin this, pin to start. Okay. 15, it's a laps of 150 roughly. So, let's go 2 minutes, 6 laps. Well, that should do. I only have 10 tires, they don't last, so I'm probably gonna need these. And I might do the same strategy that I did last time, because the strategy I did last time was start on the quali set, switch it for full fresh, and then go. Right, that was the strategy I did for these last time. I don't know if that's the best strategy. I could change it now, like double stint 2 fresh tires and then go to the quali set later, or I just like take quali front, like quali new front rear. Maybe that'll do it. But I don't want to do 2 experiments at once because I think this is the first time I mean, it's definitely the first time I'm ever driving the Peugeot at Sebring, but it's the first time I'm driving the hypercar at Sebring for... I mean, I don't know, maybe I drove it 2 years ago, but it hasn't been in a while, but... because I've mainly been avoiding this track. So today's going to be either a great success or a massive car crash. So what is my rank, by the way? 23. So sort of middle of the hypercars. We have 17 hypercars. Basically, what's going to happen is what I'm going to do in this race. If I'm last and I'm at least 6th, I'll just park it. Shank's probably going to win. This Peugeot is doing pretty well. But yeah, don't think. I mean, obviously in quali, I'll never be competitive. That's always the case. That's always the case. That I'm never competitive in qualifying. But let's see for the race. .8 laps. But yeah, I mean the first one's obviously going to be tire warming, so there's not really meaningful, really. I'm not gonna really push so that I can theoretically get 7 with this fuel load, but yeah. New car, new track. Sort of. It's kind of funny that, I mean, the tracks that I don't have any idea how to drive are Portimao, Paul Ricard, and Coda, right? So, and I'm gonna learn Coda next. I'm gonna learn Portimao next week because there's like a GT3 race, and I'm gonna use my second account to get some in-race practice there. But yeah. Let's see. Yeah, the thing about Sebring is obviously that counts because it's the only track where the pit lane's behind the start-finish line, so it counts as an extra lap basically. So this is lap 1, but it says 2 because technically you did like 0.2 of a lap because the pit lane's on the other side. Because when this race was done by WEC, they basically got relegated to the other side of the pit garages because IMSA used the main pit lane of the Super Sebring, as it was called. And again, I'm not gonna send. I'm not really gonna send it in quality, especially for a 2-hour, 24-minute race. I am not bothered with the qualifying result because basically I can't touch the top 5 anyway on pace. And then everybody else is fair game in the race anyway, whether I start 17th or 6th. So yeah, I mean the tires are still very undercooked. That's one thing, to be honest, I'm not very good at, is warming tires. So I am good at locking up tires, but I'm not really good at warming them. Which is why I'm not very good at warming them. Alright. Because I'll need these again, I mean... Tried a couple of different strategies for the 2.4-hour races now. One was comically bad with the one side quali set, one side new. That was comically bad in the Genesis. Maybe it's different in the Peugeot, but I'm not willing to try to waste another hour of spinning, especially on this track that's already a pain of its own. So I'm just gonna see to maybe start on a completely new set and see how it goes, because obviously I don't know how the tire wear is. You can't triple stint tires, I think. I don't think you can triple stint tires. I don't think I want to, but yeah, obviously I'm gonna need to use 2 quali tires at some point in the race, right? Because I need 8 tires for the race. Oh yeah, yeah. Aye, 3D game. Quit Blitz, pretty much. This is Limo Ultimate, which is both cheaper and better than iRacing. Imagine buying DLCs, and then you can't use them if your subscription expires. Couldn't be me. But yeah. How's it going? Welcome. Yeah, this is Lim Ultimate. Game that has a much better monetization option than iRacing, and also better than Blitz, of course, because you can just... I mean, to participate in this race, you do have to subscribe to Race Control, but that's very much optional. And you don't lose all access to the whole game if you don't do Race Control. You can't do championships and custom liveries if you don't have Race Control, but that's about it. So... yeah. Alright, I mean, 50... The quick laps aren't happening yet, of course. I assume a high 46 is... I'm gonna assume we're gonna see like a high 46 out of one of the guys ahead. Right, like a 46... 46... 8 or 46, no, something like that. Hello, Pikachu. So, obviously I can't compete with that. I will, if I get a lap together, that's going to be 48 for me. There's the bump. Now the bump is not really something you have to worry about too much with the, like this kind of car, but with the LMP2. With the LMP2, that bump is deadly. Like, you die on that bump so easily. I have max wing. I already have the anti-roll bar at P1. But yeah. I mean, the Peugeot is basically the bus of hypercar. You know, it's very reliable, very easy to use. That's this race is gonna get wet later, which is why I stayed with the Peugeot as well. It's very easy to drive. It doesn't really sway either way. It locks up easier than I want it to. Like, it locks up easier than the Genesis or the BMW. But especially for wet running, it is quite a nice car. Even though, like, I was basically, I tested the Porsche as well, which ran pretty well on this track. But yeah, Peugeot it is. Shanks is driving the Genesis. Oh, Genesis also a great option. I was thinking about the Genesis, but I was like, I've drove the Genesis so much that now I'm gonna see how the other cars do. That was not great. That I'm gonna drive a bit more Peugeot, drive a bit more BMW, maybe even drive a little bit of Porsche, so I have a reference, right? What is good and what isn't good, because I'm really liking the Genesis, and yeah. I think I'm gonna need 5. I think I'm gonna need 5 front right tires. 46.8, like I said. I mean, could claim that I'm just very good at guessing, but it's basically the quickest race lap that I saw in the leaderboard was a 47.7, so add a second to that and you get the possible quality time, basically. Subtract a second to be mathematically exact. How is that not track limits, by the way? Like, I drove completely off track there and somehow it doesn't count. That's hilarious. Ish. Wait. That's the problem, you know, I don't have that extra second. I don't have it. I have my race pace, and that's it. So if I would ever, like, do team events or something like that, you know. I know a couple people, but... oh, that's track limits. But, you know, I want to drive sort of, like, equal skill level. I don't know anybody there. Shanks in the pits. 46.8, like I said. I mean, a little bit is possible, but I'm gonna be at the back anyway. So, ugh. It's just that's just my problem, you know. When I'm S2 like this, because of LMP2, right? Because of LMP2, I'm S2 on pace, right? Like I got that. But with hypercar, when I'm in this rank, I'm basically always a top split bottom, right? I'm in split 1, but both in terms of pace and in terms of rank, I'm at the bottom of split 1. Because here's the funny part. My lap times in the hypercar and the LMP2 are about similar, right? Some cases I'm quicker in the LMP2 than the hypercar. Now the LMP2 is about a second a lap slower on most tracks, so I'm faster with the slower car, and that doesn't help, of course. 15th. How much would I need? Would need a second to the front. I don't think I even have another lap. Well, but Koronatowski is just sleeping. He doesn't want to drive. Yeah, that's not too bad. I don't have another lap. 2 seconds, Ted. What do you have in your racing equipment? How much did it cost? So, hold on. I will tell you in a minute. I don't know what my strategy is going to be. But basically, like Fanatec wheel, Fanatec CSL DD, the pedals, I think the whole, like, the wheel base and pedals together were, I think, about 800. The 3 monitors, 150, 200 each, something like that. I don't know, because these two are like 8 years old, I think. No, 7 years old. 1080p monitors. Then the sim rig itself cost 500, I think. And then obviously the PC is question mark, because it's a Frankensteiner of like a 9070 XT and all those kind of things. But yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do in the race. If I'm going to just start on this set again and send it. But let's see. 201, 201. See, if I drive GT3, I'd be like here. Right? I would be 39th. Like, I'd probably do 204. Yeah, it's like my skill is exclusively limited to LMP2. And the more I drive hypercar, the slower I'm getting in the LMP2, but the less fast I'm getting in the hypercar. Great success. But yeah, what? Hamilton. I mean, these guys are all really good, you know. Like, this guy's S2. These are all really good drivers, right? So, me being behind a lot of these is not surprising, really. But, yeah. I mean, the whole setup is probably like 2.5, 3, maybe. Something like that. Depends on how you count it. But I will take a quick break before the race. And I will also get more hydration. 46, yeah, like I said. And like I always say, I'm 2 seconds ahead because if I don't practice, 2 seconds. Exactly 2 seconds. Like I did in total 6 practice laps before qualifying. 4 in the Porsche and 3 in the Peugeot. So that doesn't really count as practice. That is more like remembering how the track looks like. But yeah, let's see. Oh, the guy's in P1. The streamer dude, content creator. And I'm aboard him. Alright. What is this? Y'all want me to leak some Blitz information? Actually, I won't do that. Unlike Wargaming, I have integrity. Let's see. There is gonna be wet. So I'm gonna start on fresh tires now. Because it is gonna be wet in the middle of the race, allegedly. So pretty much if it gets wet, then I can just reuse these tires anyway later. And I have 2 fresh tires available, and I have the full quali set. Because if I drive an hour now with the quali set, right, and then I pit, I put on the new fresh mediums, and then it starts raining 10 minutes later, then I've basically wasted that new set completely. And so I'm gonna put on new tires now, and then like if the race is at the end, then it gets dry again. It would be nice to have softs available, right? So, but there are no softs in this race even, so the medium is the softest tire. So it doesn't even make. Sorry, there's no point. So there's no point even then. Okay, up the consumption of the motor map by 200. So I want the battery drained a little bit, so it's not, because if the battery's full, you don't have braking. Ugh. But yeah. But yeah, let's see. Erratic driving, okay. Oh, so the Genesis just didn't bother qualifying. Is he doing like a last to first or something? That'd be cool. If he tried that. But yeah. Basically, this race serves 2 purposes. Test the hell out of the Peugeot, like 2 hours of hell, and also make it very obvious to myself that I will never do a Sebring race this long ever again, right? Because to know that you don't want to do it, you have to have done it, right? To have the credibility. Because otherwise you just, oh, have you ever done, why do you not like it? Have you ever done it? Well, I haven't, but, you know. We're already going like 5 wide here. Remember, guys, you can win a race in turn 1. You can very much win a race in turn 1 of a 2.4-hour race. You can win it in turn 1, right? Just go around the inside. Just go around the inside. I'm not even gonna bother with that because it's gonna get away anyway. All right. First lock up from the Genesis. Just gonna chill back here. Because basically, I'm gonna overtake anybody that doesn't have the pace anyway. And then everybody else, I'm just gonna hang myself to the back of. And then avoid that happening. Now the problem is that guy has a Red Bull livery. And the Red Bull livery is the ISIS flag of sim racing. Basically. So you want to stay as far away from that as possible. And be aware of the danger. Now the problem is obviously it's already 2 seconds. 2-second gap. And I have basically Omega Wing because it's gonna get wet, so my top speed is 2. Alright. I mean, I have 2 objectives. See the checkered flag and don't get lapped. What the hell is not looking up? Anyway. Hamilton's behind me. Seen that guy before. This is basically, the way I see it, it's a 2-hour practice session that actually gives you a rank, or in this case, loses me rank. No, that's Erks and the Beamer already. 14. Happened to him? Okay, I suck at that corner. Noted. I also suck at race pace, but we'll get there. Nope, not like... I would love to know why full wing does not turn. I'm already on P1 ARB, so... Still, what's going on? Whee! I gotta say, the Coach Dave setups do not feel good with hypercars at all. But maybe the way those are built are the exact opposite in the way I want to drive the cars. But yeah. Whee! I'm already, like, screwing down the roll bars all the time. Because it's, like, P4 or something, which is, like... Why would you want the P4 roll bar on the front? Like, I want a car to turn. Maybe. Occasionally. Wait. I think this is like arm marathon with the force feedback and all. All right. .47.5 already. I don't know what I'm doing in this corner, to be honest. Don't ask me. That guy's, I mean, I think that guy, the Peugeot's probably gold. So, it shall explain itself. If I can drive into the low 48s in the race, then I'm good. Probably shouldn't have worn this quite warm hoodie, to be honest. T-shirt should have done, but oh well, it's not that hot. Just open the door on the stop, get cold. That is not a problem. See, that's the Sebring does not have air conditioning. How does force feedback feel? Like it's force feedback, like it's pushing back against you. Like if I'm turning the car to the right, then obviously the wheel wants to straighten out again. Right? Don't know why tire slides there all the time, but oh well, we'll find out. Luckily this is a hypercar, not a LMP2. The LMP2, that's a problem here, not really. Turn in earlier here, way earlier. There's like, eventually, I will gain about 3/10 in that one corner right there that I just drove through randomly. It's gonna be like magic. It's just gonna happen. At some lap, it's just gonna happen, and then from then on, it's gonna keep happening. Well, that's how it at least is in the LMP2 when I drive Sebring. You know, I'm slow, boom, 3/10 in that one corner. Magically doing something different. Don't ask me what, because I don't know. Yeah. Like, also, obviously you feel the bumps in the road, because these tracks are all laser scanned, right? So, every bump that the track has in real life, the sim racing track has as well. So you feel all those bumps in the wheel as well. Obviously you see the field of view bouncing, but if you steer over those bumps, you can also feel the bumps in the wheel, of course. And, yeah, how's that? Okay. I don't know where the track limits there are, by the way. Because there's no line, right? There's no line. 1.2 seconds. Well, I would need 1.4 seconds better to get where I want to be. See, there's the bump. There's the big bump. But yeah. 78 laps of this. Oh boy. Turn, you bastard. You know, the feeling when you drive, it's like driving a bus after driving the LMP2 through there, because if you try to do the same thing in the hypercar that you can do in the LMP2, nope. It don't do that. I mean, you can see how, like, it's vibrating. That Genesis has hexagonal tires now, probably. It locks up every time. That is wild. Definitely gonna get lapped, though. Twice. In this race. I mean, I'm a bus driver now in the Peugeot. Compared to the LMP2, it does feel like a bus. And the same with the GT3s, except the Ferrari. The Ferrari is like really mobile. Like, it turns beautifully. Because the thing is, like, the track limit is you can basically go over that white line in on Sebring here, right? You can go over that white line, but there's some distance from the white line that you can't go over it anymore. No. Hello. See, that's why I'm here. P12. Istep and Kretsch. I mean, if I don't crash, I mean, that's true for basically every race. if you don't have any oopsies, you're in the top 10. As long as you're like within 103, 104% pace, so that's probably like 100, 103% pace now. So not that good, but still okay. To look on the sheet. But as long as you're within that sort of pace level, then you're gonna be like top 10 most of the time. Okay, I'm losing there. That's why I use this as practice sessions, right? Because I can look at the drivers ahead and at my own delta and be like, okay, this is where he's going quicker, this is where I'm going quicker, this is where I have to improve. Because if you're just driving on a session on your own, you have the problem that you don't have a reference. Like, you don't know, am I going through this corner at 100% pace already? Like, is it possible to go through this corner quicker? Or is it possible to get track limits on the same corner every damn lap? I mean, that's really an issue. It's not really an issue, but yeah. See, there's the bump. You want to avoid that, ideally. Alright, I'm going to need another half a second on top of that. 48.3. That's 1 seconds on top of that. But yeah. The 47.3 is the best lap. So 40. Wow, yeah. Oh, hello. Hello, Bujak. How's it going? How's it going back here? Just gonna try to be a metronome for 2.5 hours and see what happens. Right, you can... It's kind of the problem, like you can sort of teach manners to a fast driver, but you can't make a mannered driver fast. In a lot of cases. And I ain't fast. Oi! What was that, yellow? Okay, I mean the time for quick laps is over because we're now about to in the GT3 traffic. Let's see, you want to go around the bump. And I think there is going to be a couple of deceases around the GTs. I mean, you can expect about 1 decease per GT. There's one. My prediction is already true. You can expect about 1 incident per time that GT3 is elapsed. Right? In a race like this, it's now lap 9, so we're going to lap them about 7 times. So you can expect roughly 7 incidents. That doesn't mean that there's going to be 7 hypercars DNFing from that, but there's going to be like 7 hypercars being pushed on the gravel or spinning or DNFing, you know. Sometimes. Rare. The DNFs are rare, though, but you can always expect roughly on average 1 incident per laperation. Yeah. Obviously now I have drivers behind me that are faster, but yeah. I mean, Hamilton hasn't really gained anything. He's been 6 seconds behind the entire time. Wait, that's not the line. I'm slow as hell. That's the Mamba Mercedes right there that we're gonna have a word with. Custom livery. Alright. kind of funny because in 2024, when I started playing this game, right, LMP2 GTE, I accumulated probably like 60 DNFs in the first. I think of the first 150 races, about 60 of them are DNFs, right? Because whenever I had damage, it just like, nope, I'm out. See ya. But yeah. I've decided, nah. I'm not gonna be that guy. I'm gonna be the metronome man. And just perfect the racecraft. And the, don't do that. The consistency first. And then once I have fully acquired that, I'm gonna get into getting that last like 1.5 seconds or whatever what I'm missing to the top guys, which I'm never gonna get, obviously. Maybe like 5 years, but yeah, maybe a second. Because the air is very thin up there. You know, there's like maybe 100 people up there, and I'm never gonna be one of them. But I can be 101st. That's my goal. Alright. That's pretty... 47.2, I mean he's already through the traffic. New fastest lap. Overall on the leaderboard. I mean I know that like that guy or Shanks as well, who's probably a P2 right now. Yeah, look at that, P1, P2, P3, gone. And then 4, 5 are together. And then 7, to me, is very much achievable. Right? That's what I'm saying, you know? It's like, the first 5... are you gonna? Okay. Never do that. That was a dumb idea of me, but the problem is I was already on the outside. But... never actually do that. Never overtake a GT3 on the outside, because that guy could have pushed me into the wall quite easily. Okay, we have a Poofy and the caddy, but he's going again. Oh, good. That was 2 incidents now, I think. Oh, and Hamilton, the Ferrari behind, had an incident. But, I mean, as you can see, I'm not one of those esports drivers. I never will be. Like, first and second, they're gone. They will forever be gone. But I could be third, eventually. In some time. Oh, Estrep and Urx have both crashed again. And that's why I have higher rating than them. Sometimes. Not because I'm quicker, because I live. And now I just need to also live and be quicker. The problem is I can do only one of those 2 things. I can either live or be quick. Like, really quick. I mean, I could do 48. I could do by basically a second quicker. If I push completely, I'm going a second quicker, right? But I'm gonna die if I do that. Like, I could push 3 laps like that and then I throw it, or I lock up the tire so badly that it's over. All right, there he is. Man's leading. Rule number 1: never crash into streamers. Rule number 2, just don't crash into anybody. 48 from Poofy. Yeah, already P10. Other people get damage. People crash or get crashed. I'm coming. Now, I've obviously never driven the Peugeot in the wet on Sebring, so that's going to be interesting. Certainly. When and if that happens. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to double stint these tires, and then I might try. Obviously, no experiments 1 hour and 40 minutes into a race, of course. But I might try fresh front, quali rear. So I can use those 2 fresh tires still. Because the fresh one side, quali other side, I'm not going to do that again. That was a bad idea, especially on the Genesis. I don't know how it is on the Peugeot, but on the Genesis that was a horrible idea. But yeah. They're not even doing anything. That's 2/10, so I'm not doing anything. Obviously, the fuel load is getting lighter. The laps will somewhat get quicker. A little bit. Is that track? See? That's not track limits for some reason. I don't know how. I don't know why. But it's not. Alright. I mean, it's just, you know, there's the half a second anyway. And now another half a second. If I push a little bit, but I don't want to die like that. See? It immediately starts happening. Alright. Oi! 53, 51. I think those guys have damage. Don't know. You know, I could brake quite a lot later here as well. Because with the LMP2, you brake basically at the first line. And I'm braking where the completely black asphalt starts, so could brake probably 20 meters later here as well. But I want to keep these tires nice and round instead of turning them square. Because a 48.5 or a square tire is about 50-50. Alright. Not racing anybody now though. Kind of sad. That is also my problem in this game a little bit, right? Like I'm not slow enough. I'm not fast enough to race the guys that are at the top, and I'm too fast to race the guys that like throw. So I'm stuck in this integration hell. Alright. I mean, let's just do 50s and 50s and 50s. If we look at the human species, then our prime advantage over the animal kingdom has always been enhanced endurance. Basically, we walked down our prey. Not like sprinting like a cheetah or something like that. And that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna walk them down. Just with ruthless mediocrity. I mean, sure, it's split one of a championship, but, you know, pace is something else than what I'm doing here. Oh, yeah. I mean, I could probably hold on to the, like, low 49s safely. Without having to send it. I can probably hold on to the low 49s, so we'll keep it there. The most boring hunting technique ever. Just walk them down. But yeah, I mean, obviously they're walking away from me, but they are up going back through the GTs again already. I mean, I have 4% more energy than the race leader. I mean, just because I'm slow, right? Because obviously that guy goes onto the power earlier. The brakes later, goes into the power earlier. So he's using more energy. Those 4 seconds help me nothing, but, you know, it's saving a little bit. I could Lyco a little bit, but there's no point, you know. It's like, in this race, it's basically three stints of full tilt. Right? So, I mean, 80 laps, divide that by 3, whatever that is, and you got yourself 3 stints. Yeah, 2.37 stints remaining. So there's basically like no point to Lyco or anything. I mean, I could like minimally Lyco, but this is Hypercar. I'm already slow. Like I can Lyco in the LMP2 and not lose pace, but can't do that with this one because I don't know the points. Because it's quite easy. Because it is actually quite easy. Because in the LMP2, if you lift where the Hypercar brakes, you don't lose any lap time, but you do save like 0.05 laps per lap. So you can extend half a lap, pretty much. Well, I forget the strategy because it's raining now. Alright, high grip, wet tires. Obviously, the attrition rate in the wet is even higher than in the dry. But yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't get the lap together quite there. Optimal, 48.7. I didn't even push. Okay, or practice. That's not bad. And I can promise you, if I jump into an LMP2 after this, if I was to jump into an LMP2 after this race, maybe I'll try it. Maybe I'll prove myself wrong. But jumping into an LMP2 after this race, I will do a 49.0 within 5 laps. Like this same pace. In a car that is slower per lap. Yeah, now we're gonna reduce the energy consumption. The problem is they don't do these events for LMP2s. Like, the problem is they do ELMS, where it's like 12 cars. And in this race, it's 17 hypercars. Hold on, I'll read the message really quick. It's 17. That's like the minimum I'll take. What are the chances of coming on top? At 0. My chances of winning this race are 0. My chances of getting a top 5 are like 50-50. Because like I said, I'm basically walking them down. I don't have the pace, but I do have the ruthless mediocrity that you need, especially in the Peugeot, to get ahead. Like, here's the thing. I can't be S3 from the ranking, because to be S3, you need to actually have pace. But I can be pretty high S2, because all you need is to watch a couple S3 guys crash, and then drive past them. Or crash into the wall like that. Made that mistake plenty of times. The problem is I have to leave it and then inside this guy. Now obviously because I have to go deep, I have to go lift off a little bit. It's better to lose time than the car. But yeah. 10 seconds, 7 seconds. And Poofy is driving a little bit quicker. He might have damage, which is negative for, obviously, the rain. It's a big negative for the rain. But basically, look at P1 and P2. If you look at the track map on the other side of the screen, P1 and P2, they're already through the GT field, and they're, like, miles ahead of everybody else. Those are the kind of guys that I can't ever catch. Even if I pushed my absolute heart out and, like, practiced, that is natural talent that that I just don't have for this sim racing, basically. Maybe it's like World of Tanks Blitz, you know, where I take 5 years and then I'm bored because I'm at the top of the game. Like, I basically in Blitz, I'm physically incapable of playing worse than Unicum, right? So there's that. Maybe I'll get there in like another 3-4 years. But a lot of these guys that are at the top, right? These aren't just these guys aren't sim racing since the Limo Ultimate came out, right? I built this whole sim racing setup for this game because of this game coming out, right? I was like, I finally have the space, I finally have the game. I'm gonna invest and go for it. Right. I had a Logitech G920 before that, where I used the clutch as the brake pedal because the brake was like impossibly hard. So I don't count that. Basically, I've been sim racing for 2 years and 3 months. Because I don't count the abomination of Logitech. Wait, I don't know the pit entry. Well, actually, I do know the pit entry. That's one other thing that a lot of people don't practice or don't know. You know, the pit entry, how to maximize time there. Or like, you know, like I'm not driving into him, but I am knocking. You know? Because if I just completely commit to that, and he turns in, dead. But what I'm doing is, I'm like, hey, there's a hole on the inside. I'd like to dive that. If you open up, I can get past. And he did. And he let me go. It had a micro lock up there, which made me go about 5 meters wide. Not ideal, but yeah, like, you can knock, but you can't kick the door in. Okay. Erx is losing time, Strap's losing time. So that's the thing, like, the Eric's behind me. He's a much better driver than me, of course. But why is he behind me? Well, unlucky or crashy boo-boo. And if I do way less crashy boo-boo than the guys that are faster, well then guess who comes out ahead? You know, you don't have to be quicker. You just have to finish. You don't have to be the quicker driver. You just have to finish ahead. Oh my. Or do that and be an idiot. So. There is no grip on the inside. They're zero. Zero. Zero grip. Oh, yay. Taro. Oh, hello. Grello is dead. Are we damp already? Okay, we're already damp. There's no grip on the inside, and it's already damp. And GT3s have better mechanical downforce. Basically, meaning they have when a hypercar, the slower it goes, the less downforce it has, because it's a lot lighter and it generates a lot more downforce over the aero devices, so the air coming over it. The GT3s, they generate a lot more grip by simple weight, right? Because they're heavier. They're like 400 kilos heavier, 1,400 kilos, and these are 1,000 kilos. So they generate a lot more from that weight. So as it becomes wet and the lap times decrease and there is a bigger focus on aero grip, on weight grip basically, the GT3s can be quicker in certain parts of the track, right? And ow, I mean, I exist. You went off. So not gonna do that twice. Nice. But yeah. Basically just misjudged the amount of grip there, and I just kind of went a bit deep. Like here. Where I make it just to the end of the track. Perfect. Why am I P8? Well, one guy already stopped for tires. Let's just careful. On the curb. Curbs are wet. Want to avoid that. You're in the middle of the track, bruv. What's going on? Is he pitting? I think he's pitting. I think he is pitting. Okay. Okay, I'm P8, but there's two people behind me that have already pitted in or already on wets. But it's damp, and damp is fine with the hypercars on the wet the medium tires, especially if they're warm. If they're warm tires, it's fine. But yeah, that was a hearty lap, and this Porsche is gonna be too far away to dive the inside, so I'm gonna have to go here. Make extra sure that nothing's happening. Okay. Let's see. Obviously now the grip every lap is different, because it gets worse and worse basically. But yeah, let's see. Maybe it doesn't even get actually wet. The good thing also of this kind of position is that, like, I have enough of a gap to the guys behind. Like, if P1 pits, and I'm like, okay, it's time to pit, I can adjust my strategy, right? Obviously, P1's quite far ahead, so basically I'm going to have to count back, because when P1 pits, I'm going to have to do another lap, or half a lap, basically. So it can already be too late. But you can basically follow what they do, and then copy it, and then do it later. Okay. Pit for the Genesis, I think. Okay, pit. Box. It is slightly wet. Box. I don't know where the exact entry line is, but I do know, I think they removed that ghost, because that corner there used to have like a ghost corner where there was a wall, but next to the wall there was like an invisible piece of wall that you drove into. I think they removed that though, because otherwise I would have hit it, I think. Okay, wet. The guys ahead are in wet, and the leaders are... And there's the Genesis. Stop. Okay. I'm good though. Okay, I'm being flashed. Okay. I hope that Genesis leaves before me. I mean, he should. He goes up, and now he should depart in about 10 seconds. Okay. That means it's going to be a 3-stop race, basically, because now there is no way to go to the end. I mean, it's 2.03... Well, it is actually with one more stop to go to the end. Because it's 2.1 stints, and in the wet you use a lot less fuel, a lot less energy. So we can go to the end with another stop. So it's pretty much started raining as the pit window was open anyway. Okay. P8 still, some reason. Poofy is passed. Okay. P9. Erks was ahead. He's on medium still. And we have to be very careful into this corner. There was a brief yellow, so watch that as well. Now I have to do a bit of oopsieing to get the tires from 20 degrees to not 20 degrees. Because this is pretty dangerous. It is slightly wet, so that's fine. If it never gets wetter than slightly wet, I think that's great. Light rain. It's only light rain, and the forecast is light rain, so it might not get wetter than slightly wet. Oh, drive through behind for most likely pit lane speeding. Yeah, P9, and Urk still has to pit, but let's see. His strategy looks like. Now what I'm gonna do, again, walk them down, walk them to death, and push clean, consistent laps. I've made one miscalculation. I'm gonna call it a miscalculation, not a mistake, because I was not expecting there to be so little grip for braking on the inside. And that's worse than a mistake, because basically, just the act of being stupid. Okay, track limits on the same corner. That's not a... I mean, I have 1.5 of 6. It's fine. It's not really matter. Okay, Eric's behind me now. Komatovsky's lost time. Poofy has less energy. So I don't... I mean, obviously, I'm not going to wheel-to-wheel fight anybody in the wet. I'm not insane, especially on this track. Like, if it's basically the same pace, you know, then I'm not going to wheel-to-wheel fight people. But I am a second a lap quicker, so if I can get closer and get past, then obviously I have to. But if we're like similar in pace and he's not holding me up, I'm not gonna waste time fighting, because then I can just attach myself to his rectum and then have a lot shorter pit stop by saving fuel. Right. And then having because 7, it's roughly 50 seconds for a full fill. So those 6 seconds are about 3 seconds. So if I stay within that margin, then we'll see. Oh, he went off. I almost went off as well. Alright, thank you. Have a good one. There. Whee. I mean, I could go quicker than that, to be honest. That was like really slow. It's the park map. Could reduce risk by avoiding that curb. Curb's not an issue. That's not an issue either. Okay, 2:02.9. I did a 2:02.4 last lap. So I can hold this pace then. Which is kind of weird, because most of the time, when it comes to the wet, I'm closer to other drivers than in the dry. I'm gonna take it very slow and chill here. No risk. Alright. Because sure, this is a 2:24. Like in a 20-minute race, if you drive laid back and reserved, you get nothing, of course. But in a 2:24, or anything that's like an hour or plus, literally doing decent and surviving is better strategy than full pushing and dying. Hamilton is back behind me though. Did he pit earlier? No, we have about the same energy. Alright. Let's also see if we can widen the energy gap to the caddy ahead without losing time. Oi! Stay within 1 second of him. I mean, if he's like going slowly, I'll take him, of course, but no risky dives. Okay, 2:03 from Balan. It is getting wetter though, so lap times will decrease and danger increases. Okay. See. I mean, I'm already... See, this is why I say qualifying doesn't matter. P15 in quali. Now I'm up to P8. Could be P7. Okay, 2 4. I do have maximum wing, so I can turn in pretty sharp if I'm off throttle. Oh, he goes go wide again. And I'm also going wide because I'm watching him. Oh, there we go. There's the Red Bull. Is that a Red Bull? No, it doesn't look like it. It's not the Red Bull Genesis. So it is a caddy. Oh. No. Peugeot. We don't do that. The other cars might do that, but we don't do that, Peugeot. We don't do that. Again, if he comes knocking, I'll just let him go. But, yeah, let's see. Oof. I will not be hindered in my mission. Okay. I mean, I can't turn the roll bars down further. So, this is it. This is the amount of the car doesn't turn that I'm gonna get. Right, and the car doesn't turn. So that is awesome. 204, 206. Okay. I mean, I have a lot more wet experience with the Genesis, so maybe I could keep up a bit better with that car. But generally, the Peugeot is like rock steady, except for that tiny little thing. That just, but you know, that was just a little snapping. That can be caught very easily. Okay, focus. P4, 30 seconds. It's too deep. Okay, I went 2 seconds quicker than the caddy. Obviously because he went off. Oh, it's very slippery here. This corner. It's getting very soft on the brakes. Okay. Be careful there. Try to, I mean, wet line and stuff. Or just the car doesn't stop. What the fuck? Luckily, there's more track over there. That'll do. Okay, so the car doesn't stop when you go off the line there. Ain't that lovely? Well, gonna have to do it again. Oi! Put another $1 in the oopsie bin. But yeah, no biggie. But he's gonna make more mistakes, like now. I can just do that. Okay, so this is very much a bad thing, but we're both alive. He did the smart thing. He didn't try to hold it in there. But now this is gonna get quite sketchy because I've got a guy half a second behind me and about 3 GTs ahead, which I can't take into turn 1. Right, so this Lexus is gonna have to go inside. And the Porsche, I can't. Why are you defending? I mean, you could say, oh, he's taking the wet line, but I don't know. Why are you in the middle of the track, bruv? Oi. P15. Mercedes. Okay, the breaking point is like in Narnia for that corner. If I don't want it to lock up. Interesting. Found that out the hard way. Yeah, driving in the wet is like, ugh. Kind of. It's way too early. But like damp, slightly wet, that's still very nice. But when it's like wet, then it just becomes soup. I have to say, obviously from my limited experience in the wet with the Genesis, that like the pressure feels really good in the slightly wet, like earlier, but now it's getting very boaty. It's like swimming on the water in a way that I don't like. Oi! But yeah, Balan's 7 seconds. He lost some time. He's losing more time. He's bleeding quite a lot. That is not a overtake attempt worth making on the Ford. Very dangerous move. Around the outside. See, because he went right to the edge of the track there. So if I would have been later, I could have never done that because he would have gone off. Like, basically he goes wide. That's just how the car goes. There's nothing he's doing basically to make that happen. It's just it goes wide if you accelerate. And then I get crushed into the wall. So it's a very bad idea to overtake GT3s on corner exit on the outside. Okay. P7. I mean, Erx is now 42 back, so basically that's 0 risk. In a regular race. And, yeah. Hamilton could be a threat later, maybe. Otherwise, looking pretty decent. Yeah, P15 to already P7. Now, if you don't turn in and I stay on the inside, we're both gonna be happy campers. Exactly. Ain't that pretty? Braking way too early, but I'd rather live. Balan's losing, still losing. Don't know what he's up to. He might have damage. Is he in the pits? No. I think he keeps going, but he's bleeding massively on the time. Or did bleed massively, now he's gaining a little bit again. Yeah. Again, I don't expect... Whoa. Couple meters deep. Don't expect to like fight that completely, like go side by side in the wet. That is something you can't do. I mean, you can, but then you just die. The Merc does a very nice job there. Did get a little bit wide there mid corner, but I very much appreciate that. Okay. I mean, one thing you can do, and is pretty useful in the wet, is to always like short shift, drive a gear higher. So that, like, you have the engine be quieter, chiller. Like, normally you go first gear, but if you go second gear, you know, the engine has to come out from deeper, and therefore the acceleration curve is a lot. The jerk is not as violent. That is the actual measurement. Jerk is the measurement of change of acceleration. So the acceleration is quite steady, and you don't just hammer the pedal and then whoop go around. So short shift in the rain, pretty good strategy generally. But yeah. let's check this wet line. Yeah, it doesn't quite work. It's too deep, gotta brake earlier. But well, I mean, I'm racing people, so that's something. That Mustang's gonna be a problem. Because I'm gonna hit him right in the corner. You know, like... straight into the braking zone, so I'm gonna just lift out of that. And he's gonna go deep for some reason. Thank you, appreciate that. But yeah. I'd be mental to jump on the inside there. But yeah. I mean... P1 is now Shanks. 1 minute ahead. Oh, that's a bit deep. And remember, if the car gets out of hand a little bit, gets out of shape, don't try and jerk it back. Just let it go. Just let it go. Just let it do its thing. And when it's done playing, you get it back online. Because otherwise you just die. I mean, obviously if there's a wall coming, then that's not something you can do, but if you have the runoff, then just let it play a bit. Don't jerk it back. Okay. And I'm gaining on Balan, but he seems to have found his groove again. It's about 3 seconds. Poofy behind as well. Oh. Merc's gone wide. Yeah, that's the thing about the GT3 is like in the wet, the GT3s in the wet are closer to the hypercars than they are in the dry in terms of lap time. Especially in the braking zones, like because they have ABS as well, right? So they're heavier, which means they have more weight to assist in braking, and they also have ABS. So under braking, they can and will have an advantage in some cases. So while you can like brake past them in the wet, in the dry, in the wet that is a lot trickier to do because the difference, the advantage that the hypercar has goes away a little bit. I mean, it's still there, but it's just nowhere near as pronounced. So you can't jump as much to the inside of the car as you can in the dry. Okay, but yeah, I mean, as you can see, P4 is 28 seconds ahead. P5 is 18 seconds, so basically I would need a crash there to happen to get ahead of that. I've walked down 7 cars already. Started 15th, I'm 7. Right? I mean, 5 of them I think crashed. And Estep is now a minute behind me. Puffy is getting closer. Now I have the problem you don't want to have is the guy ahead is slower, the guy behind is quicker. Especially in the wet, you do not want that. Now I need this guy to make a mistake and go wide, or something like that, so I can get past him, and then have Poofy be held up by Balan. Wait. Because his pace is slower by about 1.5–2 seconds, but that is not enough on Sebring because all the straights are very short. So unless I can do what I did to Poofy, you know, where I just have much better drive out of the corner, then that is a very impossible exercise. Or he just lets me go if he realizes what's happening. But that's unlikely. Very few people do that when, like, you see a driver approaching that's 2–3 seconds a lap quicker. You just let them go, right? Because fighting it, they're gonna get past. Unless it's like the last 3 laps, you know, then obviously you would be dumb to do it. But if it's like 1 hour and 20 left, and you have a guy behind you that's doing 2 seconds a lap quicker, just let them go because they're gonna get past eventually anyway. You're gonna make more mistakes pushing and defending. He says don't. He says don't. Oh, that's a lap one. Ugh. I don't know if that was directed at me, but I very highly suspect that it was. Like I said, I'm not gonna throw in there and dive and whatever. But if he does that, I'll take it. Have a good one. Yeah, it's like... I know. That's why I don't have damage. Well, I'm not gonna break to the inside of this Aston. Oi! FF. Are you... Well, I... Oh, that is LOL! That is the streamer guy. I think I can find that guy on Discord. Alright. That would be funny. Be like, hello. I'm the guy you spun into. No, good. That proof is right on me. But again, he has that energy deficit, so... Whatever. Not my problem. Again, if he's like... got quicker pace, I'm letting him go. Because that's not my race, not my problem. If I can hold him, I will, but... I would rather, you know, be P7 than fall back behind Hamilton, behind Balan, behind all of them. Because somebody gets impatient and tries a dive that doesn't work. You know, actually, rule number one is maybe... I mean, rule number one is still don't crash into streamers. But... rule number two has to be always assume that everybody else is... Even if they might have a better pace than you, always assume that everybody else wants to drive into your car. Even if most of them don't. Like, these people, and me, pay for the privilege of racing in this race. So the amount of people that drive badly is obviously a lot lower than in open lobbies, but... As you saw earlier against that Mercedes, sometimes stuff happens. Even though, surprisingly, I don't have damage. So, yeah. Guy's going... Oh, that's P15. That's not a surprise then. Wait. That was the anti-spin for the Aston. Okay. I mean, P6. And, like, I mean, again, I'm basically the maximum position I can get to. Again. Now, obviously, that doesn't mean that I'm going to stay here for the next 1 hour and 18 minutes. Might move down, might move up, but... Right, I've moved from 15th to 6th. Why? Because I didn't make any major mistakes. And I walked them down. Alright. That was hilarious. I mean, I didn't really lose anything from it. So, you can have that. Don't want Poofy to have that. I mean, he's probably quicker in the wet in the dry, to be honest. And I'm not really pushing the car right now at all. But let's see. Like if he does an overtake attempt, I'll just let him go. And because on energy, if I stay right behind him, I'll have the energy advantage anyway. But he's braking quite substantially later now. Which you could say is going to prompt me to push harder, but don't send it too hard. 265. So if I do 270, I'll be on there. Especially with a Ferrari. That's a Ferrari with a Ferrari livery, the Formula 1 Ferrari livery, I think. But yeah. Chamalad, Shanks, and whoever the guy in P2 is called, the Peugeot. Those are like... I mean, I suspect that combined they probably have... Like, either they're really, really talented, or combined they have like 30 years of sim racing experience between them. So, yeah. Those are the guys I can't catch. See? P4 and P5, those are possibles. Right? If they crash, if they have an issue... If I practice for a race for once, then those are like possibles I can drive against. Right? 24 seconds in an hour, that's not a lot. But yeah. Obviously my first time ever wet on Sebring. I'm gonna see if I can find that guy on Discord, and I'm gonna be like, "You're welcome for the assist," just as a joke. Banter is important. Oh, so is saving cars. I have everything except pace. I have everything except pace. And that can come with time, hopefully. I mean, with enough time, you always come, but that's a different thing. I'm not gonna get into. We're still wet and it's still raining. I hope it's gonna stop. I don't think we're gonna... The problem is, what do I do? Because obviously, Hamilton and Balan, they're too far back. Balan has damage. These wets are basically still new. And if we go to the end, I don't think it is a great decision. But stop perfectly in time. If we go to the end, does a new set of wets make sense to go to the end? Right, switching probably doesn't, to be honest. Because, I mean, warming up the wets isn't an issue, really. It just takes half a lap and they're there. Oh, it's going a little bit wide. Like half a lap and the wets are there. So, I don't think... But, obviously, if it's dry, then I think fresh-ish wets in 16 laps are going to be much better... No, it's too deep. It's too deep. It's like you realize a second before, you know, that it's happening, and then you can react to it. Yeah. It's like, oh my, what the hell, bruv? What just happened, man? What just happened? Did that tiny curb lift the car? What happened? That's weird. Cause like I got all on that inside curb, right? Okay, so don't get on that inside curb. was a really slow-mo spin, but I could not do anything about it. Okay. 4.8 seconds to Goofy. 14 to Hamilton. So basically, if I switch to a new set, I would still be behind Poofy, obviously. I still have the energy advantage. It's now down by 1%. It was 6, now it's 5. Yeah, I would be ahead of Hamilton if I switched to a new set of wets. He has 2% more energy, though, so it's... I would have to build the gap a bit further again in the next 15 laps to switch to new wets. Okay. Poofy's probably going to pull away a bit now, because he is quicker in this stage of the race. That's okay. I really just go onto that curve. I'm going to have to watch it. 30 lap 36. Okay. So slow-mo, but nothing I could do about it. I mean, it's a quite high curb, so maybe one of the rear tires got lifted and it just went round. Oh well. Not a concern right now. Happens. That makes it 3 of the loops is this race. But anyway, P7. Oh, P5 is bleeding. Oh, that's... Oh, P5 was P2. Does he have an issue? I think he has an issue. I think Cascatao has an issue. Yep, he's in the pits. Issue. That puts him out of contention. Pretty much. Because he has to pit again. Guaranteed. 1 point... Well, maybe he doesn't. 33 laps. He can probably save that. Because it's wet. So he can probably drive that till the end. So... But it is an early stop for him. And he might have damage. If he has to repair... Like, the minimum repair time is like 20 seconds, something like that. So... That puts him... Yeah. Obviously, he has 50% energy advantage now, but... He might not be able to go to the end. Barely. And he might have damage, which is going to lose in 20 seconds, which he has to make up. Which he can, of course. In an hour, that guy is going to drive out 20 seconds on me. Easily. So, let's see how much damage he has when he comes out of the pits. He's P8 right now. If he comes out now, then he's basically still ahead. Because he had like a minute advantage, you know. So, he basically has to... fall back. A minute and 30 at least. So that he's... If he doesn't have to stop again. If he has to stop again, then, like, yeah, it's over for him. But if he doesn't have to stop again... Whoopa! What the hell, Peugeot? The bus is getting rowdy. 53. Oh, but there's nobody that... How is there nobody there? Okay. I mean, Balan has damage as well, so he can't do the pace either way. So Hamilton is the next threat. Strep is a 1 minute back. He has 50%. Yeah. I mean, Poofy is quicker, of course, now in this point of the race. Because I'm not really pushing. Don't want to send it to hell. This car. Okay. Snapped again. Interesting. I mean, it did that before. It did that once before I spun, but when I spun, I got on the curb, so... As long as I don't get on the curb, I'll be fine. Okay. Whee! I mean, it could be P5. I could be in the top 5 right now. Like I said earlier, 50-50. Top 5. For me, top 5 is always 50-50. I mean, literally. Because I've about 50% top 5s if you count the races where I don't have damage. Like, I have 40% actual top 5s, but if you don't count all the races where I have damage, it's about 50-50. So... Because obviously if you have damage, then it's very hard to get there, and sometimes that damage isn't your fault, but basically 50-50. And I have 400 races, so it's like, that percentage isn't going to go up substantially. Even if I had 60%, it would take ages to get it to 50. So, it's not happening, but yeah. Wait. I have hundreds, probably, of P 6, 7, and 8. It's my, like, 4 to 8 is my average, sort of. That's where I tend to end up most of the time. Okay, Balan has another issue. $2:15. Check the time. 6-0 from Poofy. Okay. So I don't think we're gonna go dry in this race. Because we'd have to like stop raining now. Obviously it's overcast, it's gonna take half an hour to dry the track. And then putting on mediums doesn't make sense unless it's already dry and it's more than 25 laps remaining. Because if it's like 10 laps remaining, there's no point because you need 5 laps to warm them up to get the pace advantage over the wets. And then you need another 15 laps to make up the pit stops and the disadvantage that you had before. But we'll see what the guys do on the stop if it stops raining. Because it is about to stop raining. So, in... I'm gonna save a little bit so I can do 13 laps maybe. So I can do an extra lap over Poofy. He is gaining quite a lot though now. 6.6. Yeah. I try and save that extra lap. Just a little bit needed. Just a little bit. And I'm not gonna bother with chasing down Poofy. I'll have an extra lap and we'll see on the strategy. Don't turn into me. I'm gonna be all the way on the inside. Oh good. I don't know where the Peugeot is. The 100% Peugeot. P9's there. P12 is ahead of me. The question is he 1 lap down or 2? It's 13's behind. I find out if I'm about to lap P12 or if he's already a lap down. Nine and 10 are there, okay. It's probably just 1 lap down. Poofy is a warning badge driver though, so let's see. I mean, he has another hour to throw the car away. I believe in him. I mean, he's doing quite mighty good laps now. Or well, rather, I'm just mucking about, basically. Wait. Did I just find an exploit, sort of? I don't think that's actually quicker, but it would be funny if it was. Alright. Oh, Mercedes going wide. Don't rejoin us. Don't rejoin weirdly, please. He's snappy on the back. Mercedes loves to do that. I tested it. Yeah, I don't like the Mercedes because it does that. Like, I want a car that is very stable on entry and in turning. Like, I want a car that turns well, but doesn't oversteer. But when you get on the accelerator, I want it to oversteer. Right? I want a stable mid-steer car in corner entry and corner middle, and then corner exit. I want something that oversteers a little bit so you can get that extra degree of rotation. That's the kind of car I'm into. And Hamilton's off. I mean, I had 3 slight errors this race. Which, I mean, to be fair, this is the first time ever driving the Peugeot on Sebring, period. And then in the wet. I mean, luckily the Mercedes didn't take damage, I didn't take damage. And that little spin there, I do think, because the track goes down and then the curb go up, I think I just spun on the curb. Okay, we're doing 203s now. Up ahead. So let's go 204 maybe. 204.9. Something like that. Or just do this. Maybe this is the wet line actually. It seems to actually work. That seems to be quite decent of a line there. 204, okay. 5 from Poofy, 4 from me. I would need to be within 4 seconds to jumping on the pit stop. Actually, 2.5 with the 4% energy difference. Because about 2% is about a second, so not going to be enough to do anything via the stops. Oh well. Shouldn't have gotten on the curb like a dumbass. The whole straight is the breaking point. But I gotta say, the wet driving in Sebring is a lot more relaxing. And a lot more enjoyable than the dry driving on Sebring. I mean, you're not going as quickly, the bumps don't hurt as much. So I think this is quite relaxing. Okay, don't get on the curb again. 2.27. Yeah, I can't do that. I mean, on one of the Spa races in the Genesis, I did match Shanks, which is why I know him, for about 5 laps, and then I was like, I don't want to die, and then I fell back a bit. I mean, I was a minute behind either way, but I was like doing the same lap time. So. Let's see. Hamilton's now 30. Basically, I could just switch tires if I want to whenever on the stop. And I can do an extra lap as well, of course, now. With the fuel, but obviously that's gonna not give me a couple of seconds. If I don't have to go 100% fuel, then I don't know how much fuel I need till the end, though. I would have to find out how much Shanks takes till the end and then copy that. Or, well, actually go 3% under, because one lap is 3.3%. Can I do this? Are you gonna? Okay, you're gonna close the door. Okay. You're being uncool then. Maybe if you opened up a little bit, you know, you wouldn't have lost much time there. You wouldn't have lost much time, but I'm getting... Oh. Hello, Shanks. Just about waiting for you. Yeah, see, I don't get lapped in 1 hour 40-minute races. Basically. But I do get lapped in these. My goal is not to have that happen. And here he comes flying a lot. Okay, how do I do this? I know you're flashing me, bruv. Just do that. Alright. I lost it like a second of that. Ugh, shouldn't have done that. Should have just like let him go here. Just lift off a little and just... Yeah, because he, like... Bruv's winning. He doesn't need the 310s he's losing from me. I mean, he wants them. He doesn't need them. So. Blue flag don't mean I gotta jump out of the way, but I did. So, you're welcome. Have fun up there. Alright. Now I need to do 2 laps less. Okay. If he was Still closer to me. I could watch his line a little closer, you know, so like maybe my line's a little bit off and here and there, you know, maybe I could... Yeah, it cost me 2 seconds, that... Oopsie. With the Merc and the letting him go. But... Yeah, well. That's gonna cost me as well. Quite a bit. But yeah, I mean, Poofy's gone. See ya. Okay, P13 is behind me. Poofy is le gone, unless he has like a issue or something. He's gone. Balan pits. 30% remaining. But see how close the Merc can break to me, because they can just break quite a lot later with the ABS and with the weight of the cars in the wet. And I'm also braking like very early, basically letting it roll into the corner. Oh, somebody's off. Oh, that's the race leader. What happened? I let you go. I break into the corner. You do that, bruv. Go. You're welcome. P15 Beamer. Move this. Here. Second gear. And go. Ow! That cost a lot of time. Yeah, Poofy's basically gone. Have a good one, bruv. It's that Beamer again. The blue one. 203. Alright, man's flying now. He found his wet pace. I mean, at the start, when it got wet, I was significantly quicker than him, but he's found his pace. But maybe he's found it too much. We'll see. Because you can also overdrive the car. I mean, sure, I could push for a 203, but I'd die, probably. It's now slightly wet, basically. So... I'm gonna get into the strategy of braking later and later and later every lap by a little bit. Just a little bit. And then, let's see. I have 7.4 laps of energy. I need 70 on the stop. Okay. Because I don't think this is gonna be... I mean, if it gets damp, it has to get damp quickly. And I wouldn't risk the mediums, to be honest. I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna risk the mediums, unless it's like, unless the track is dry in seven laps. I have 7.1 laps of energy, so a little bit of lycoing. Can I go 2 laps further than Poofy? That might be interesting. 3% is 1 lap, so I might be able to go 2 laps further. And then obviously also I have an energy advantage, and I have to put less in the tank. So I can drive longer, and I have to stop for less time. So yeah, but he's 11 seconds ahead, 12 seconds now. He's doing 202s. So he's getting away. He's getting away quite well. So I don't think I can have a go there. That little curb spin cost me about 5-6 seconds. I think that was too much to have a chance there. And then obviously the Shankaroniing with lost 2 seconds there at least. Let him go twice. So yeah. I mean, I would be about 4 seconds behind him if I wouldn't have spun. So spun. Yeah, the Merc's just flying into me. Got the pace. Luckily, nobody behind me has... Like, I don't have to push. It's all good. There is a dry line now, but it is not going to be gone. The wet is not gone in 6 laps. But I do suspect, because like here it's still, there's no racing line or anything. But I do suspect that there could be a medium running in the end of the race. Because it's 50 minutes. And obviously you can go like 10 seconds quicker on the mediums per lap. Once you've warmed them, obviously. Which you can only do if it's actually damp. It's still slightly wet, so... There is no way I can go to mediums in the stop. And it also doesn't make sense to put on new wets. Because they're about 80%. 83 even, 79 on the rear. So it doesn't make sense to put new wets on either because they'll go to the end easily. I mean, even if wear doubles, I've used 20% of the rears. If I use another 40% of them, I'll be at 40, and that's like as far down as you can drive a tire. Below 40%, you don't want that tire on your car. I mean, you can sort of drive it to like 30%, but then it gets like really terrible. Le terrible. Then I can do the... Last lap was a 2:02 for me as well. There's the short shifting kind of thing. I mean, 0.8 stints means I need 80%, basically. It's... Obviously, I don't want to overfuel, right? I want to cross the finish line with somewhere between 2 and 10%. Ideally 2. 47, well, lap 47. The maximum lap count was 78, but we're already down to 69. If it does dry completely, we're probably going to go to like about 73, so I'm going to have to fuel for that. Because it is going to get dry, of course. There's no more rain. It's still slightly wet. It's not. It doesn't dry quickly at all. It's very slow drying here, especially in like this area. I know this is also concrete. I wonder if they modeled that. If like concrete has a different drying speed, or because like the concrete, there's no racing line on the concrete. Maybe that's just a visual thing, but. Maybe they even modeled that the concrete has a different kind of drying effect than the asphalt, which would obviously be nice, but I don't know if they do. Hoppa. Yeah, there's no way for anybody to go into mediums here. My battery's full, I need to empty that quite a lot. Oh, that's Balan again. He's dead this time. He's completely dead this time. I didn't really pay attention to the battery the last half hour. Oops. Amateur mistake, eh? Now we gotta deploy that thing. A bit more. Burn it off. Okay. Stay on the inside. And we're gonna be good. Perfect. What are you flashing me for, bruv? You're P12. And we lived. We're both good. Battery. Okay, now it's halfway through. That's another thing you have to like that I don't pay attention to a lot of times in the hypercar because I'm just like driving the LMP2, and then it's like, oh wait, I have a battery. I mean, you don't have to generally pay attention to it most of the time unless you do this. But in the wet, obviously the deployment map you have to change it, and I didn't do that, but it didn't have an effect, so good. Didn't lose anything. Because I still had... I mean, the battery was almost full, but it wasn't. We think it's time to consider dry tires. I don't think it is, buddy. I don't think it is, buddy. I don't think it is. That's... I mean, maybe it is. 3 laps. It could... I mean, it is a gamble. But I have 35 seconds clear. And at the end of the race, the mediums will be quicker. So I have 20-second gap. I have a 20-second gap to warm my tires into, right? But obviously, if I go offline, I'm dead. Huh. You know, like if I drive off the racing line, I just die. You know? On the mediums, especially when they're cold. So I don't know why the game thinks it's time to consider dry tires. Because I definitely don't think it is. I wanna wait that one extra lap. Because if it goes damp, you know, I have 44 minutes to do it, basically. And I do want to know how bad the warm-up will be. Oi, 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 oi. See, I saw him spitting, and I brake! Because I have intelligence. Oh, there is... What the fuck? Huh? What? What was that? That was weird. Just ran. Okay. Well, now I don't have the margin anymore to go to. What was that? Really? That was really weird. What the hell? That was really, really weird. Okay. Well, I have damage now. Ugh, what was that? Okay, we're gonna rewatch that. Well, that's 4 oopsies for this race. Not quite walking them to death as I want to. And obviously now the damage, obviously it is dry now, so it's all good. It is damp. Okay, so I think... I mean... There is 17 cars. If I finish P8 or better, I'm in the top half. And the strip is... Okay, what is Poofy doing? He has to pit now. I can go 2 further laps if I just save a bit more. Oh, that's one off. Who's that? Great, okay. Not of importance. 70%. Okay, the guy... P8, he definitely has to pit again, so it doesn't really matter. But he is only 35 behind, so... Let's see. Let's see what Poofy does, though. How much energy he goes for? 88? Stays on the wet. I mean... What happened there? Okay, lap 37 I think it was the first weird one, and then lap 50. I have to watch what happened there, because it's like... those kind of things, they just come out of nowhere. So... Okay, 1.4... What? 1.4 labs. Point 3. I'm gonna get that extra lab. Just gonna save quite a lot, and then I'll be okay. I'm not pitting this lap, bruv. Okay. Now, Poofy's still on the wet. It is damp. But, at some point in the next 40 minutes, the medium will obviously be massively better. And then, when they pit, I will have warm mediums. I don't think 40 minutes... Okay, let's try this. Okay, this is an experiment now. Used medium. Put in the quality set. Okay, they're both pits, so now we can see what they do. How much energy they put in. Medium, okay. Choice made. I'm going for the quality set. Going fresh mediums at the front. And I'm going to be careful on the energy now. Just going to let it roll out. I'm glad I waited that extra lap, though. Obviously, I'm losing like shitloads of time doing this. This wasn't like it's not the best strategy, but I know because I wanted to see what they do. So now I'm gonna go into the pits. 76% from Korotovsky. I'm gonna go with 80%. I'm gonna have a little bit left over. Who's that? Who's that ahead of me? Ah, Cretch, so it doesn't matter. Okay, new medium fronts, quality tires rears. And 80% energy. Okay, that's what we're gonna go for. Okay, let's go. See if that pays off. Obviously, the problem is that I have that rear suspension damage and the front damage. So, not great, but I have no idea what happened there. That just randomly snapped. So, yeah, okay, here comes Poofy. He goes through now. Obviously, he's going to be like 25 seconds ahead. He's going to gain much time on me. But if the mediums start working, when the mediums start working, then we're going to go. Estep has the pit. The Johansson is the next contender. He's 1 minute 20 back, though, so should be able to go now. Come on, 45 seconds. Oh, why am I being turned, bruv? Okay, I have them 28 degrees. Okay, this is gonna be like hell. Oh my god, it's actually hell. That is insane. Have to get on the racing line. Whew. Okay. Turning is like optional. gonna take like 3 laps to get these up to temperature, but we're gonna take more than 3 laps. Oh my god, they don't. Holy shit! Holy shit! Okay, this is absolute hell right now. Oh my god! I need to stay on the racing line, bruv. Otherwise I die. Oh my god, they don't get warm! They're at 30! For the 1 lap. I mean, they're gonna come into effect when they're about 60. Like, they're drivable from 40. The track's quite dry here. I'm gonna lose to I'm gonna lose that position to Hamilton, like, guaranteed. Guaranteed I'm losing that position, but later I should be able to push. And if he has to switch tires, then he's gonna have to go through this as well. So yeah, proof he's now a minute ahead. Holy shit! You know what I'm doing? What the hell is a corner, bruv? Whee! Shanks is also on the wet. Stay on the wet. I mean, I don't think this is the best strategy. It's just like I'm not losing anything really by trying it. Wait. Somebody. Oh right, the Peugeot is still ahead of me. That has to pit, so he might stay ahead of me. Like, because I lost so much time, the Peugeot might stay ahead. And then put me back down to P8. Oh my god, this doesn't turn. Fuck. But yeah, it's worth a try in terms of strategy. You know how long it takes to warm the tires. This is now the 3rd lap I'm out. So oh yeah, don't hold your brakes, mate. Don't hold your brakes. Holding your brakes is like woke or something, I don't know. Just don't hold the brakes because reasons. I mean, the mediums are going to be slower for quite a long time still. I mean, if I lock up the fronts, if I lock up the fronts, they go up in temperature, right? So I can get them warmer that way, right? If I just lock them up permanently, maybe as a deliberate strategy. Yeah, I mean, I'm not really... Lost another 10 seconds. There is no way I'm making up 1 minute 12. Well, unless... How many laps is that? Getting blue. I was getting blue. 15 laps, so I would have to go... 6 seconds... is 6 seconds in 10 laps, or like 7 seconds in 10 laps. So I would have to go 8 seconds a lap quicker, starting like now. If he keeps doing 59, I need 49 at the end. Right, to... So... 201 from Komatovsky. Also, it's important to not get onto the dry, the wet parts. Yeah. You're P2. I'm not. You're not getting preferential treatment. You pass me, bruv. Also, if he's on wets, I'll just have to repass him. If he's like getting really slower. I mean. Ugh, okay, go. $50. So it takes like 6 laps to warm the tires. That is crazy. I think LMU has to do something about this because it just basically makes. Because with an hour to go, right? If it stops raining an hour to go, you still have to drive the entire race to the end on wets, because the mediums do not ever gain temperature to push them properly. That is crazy. I mean, I might get Hamilton back, but whew. No, that's a hypercar. That's Shanks, isn't it? No, it's Party. It's P12. Okay. I really don't like having like P2 in front of me, who is about to be slower, I think. Is he on mediums though? I mean, maybe he pitted later, so his warm-up's terrible. But like, I'm currently on him. Trying to take BMW. Good. Also, 58 from Hamilton. I do think staying on the wets, was always the better strategy, but gotta try something interesting and different. Okay, 58 from Hamilton. 59 from me despite traffic, so I'm getting quicker now. Or, I'm actually not. 60 to, it's like impossible. I think this is like, obviously the LMP2 tires, they're bugged to absolute hell, but I do think that this is a pretty bad strategic element of the game when mediums are basically unusable an hour after rain. You know? Like, I will be quicker by the end of the race, probably. It's still damp. It's very slow drying. I mean, maybe if it rains in Bahrain, it's gonna dry really quickly, but if it's like this, there's like one clear strategy, and it's just survive on wets at all costs, basically. But yeah. Wait. No. The Cascatu guy is bleeding time, but he hasn't been in the pits yet. He has to pit, but he's 1 minute something ahead, so... He just like had a little spinello or something. But I think that guy's going to be ahead of me as well. Unless he's bleeding like a lot of time. So I'm probably going to be P8 at the end of the race. Hamilton 59.2. Now the mediums are still not performing. How many laps after pitting is this? Like 7? I'm the same pace now as the wet tires. I was like 6 laps of being slower. Obviously I have a bit of damage, so that figures in, but shouldn't figure into the warm-up of the tire. Okay. That Cascade guy, he's having an issue. He's pit now, okay. He's gonna pit onto mediums, I assume. If he stays on the wets, then I have him because the tires are fine now. Like, I'm now slowly starting to get quicker than the wet tire. We'll see. There's like, what? How many? Half a stint. 13 laps till the end. So basically need 2 seconds on Hamilton a lap at the end. Like for the last 10 laps, I need 2 seconds a lap. Or do this. Be a fucking idiot. And lose all the time. Yeah, 60 degrees. That is just okay. He's on mediums. He only pitted for like 20%, so he's gonna be ahead, I think. Wait. Don't do that, pleasure. Okay. Yeah, I mean, Poofy, he's gone. Hamilton is achievable. Certainly. '59 again from Hamilton. I don't think the wet tire goes much quicker than that, but this is also another 59 from me. So screwed up. 58 actually, okay. So despite screwing up, I'm quicker. Already. Maybe we can make it. But yeah. Poofy was 10 seconds ahead of me, now he's 1:20 ahead, so... Basically, unless it's 2 hours before the end of the race, there is no point in going to the medium. Which is insane if you think about it. Okay, 40 seconds behind, and he needs to warm the tires. He's behind Johansson, so... Threat removed. Okay. P6 potential. Potential P6. Which would basically not be negative on the... Well, it would still be negative on the strategy because I was 30 seconds ahead of Hamilton. So... It will be a negative strategy, so basically... If it stops raining an hour before the end of the race, just stay on wets. Which is pretty crazy. So I think they should increase the rate of tire warm-up, to be honest, a little bit. Because now they're still at 60 degrees. Like 60 degrees is not operating temperature. They're still cold. They're still cold now, and it's been, what, 10 laps since I pitted? Feels like 10 laps at least. Do I have enough energy? Oh, definitely. 12 laps left, maybe 13, and I have 16. Okay. Overfueled a little bit. Oh, Shanks is in the pits now. Why? I mean, I think he can afford it. Or he has damage. But he does go to the medium now. Okay. 56. Hamilton did a 57 last lap, though, so he's also getting quicker. He's still gaining time on the wet. The wet can still go faster. Are you gonna... this happen. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate that. I mean, obviously, Poofy is now in insane. I mean, Shanks just pitted for tires, so he was probably 40 seconds ahead of the P2. So he had the time to pit onto mediums, and now he can warm up the mediums. So, yeah. That's a luxury problem that he's afforded. Basically. Okay. Tire temp 70 now. Oh, what the fuck is that? What is that? Where's that pace coming from? Gee! I'm glad that's not full position. Where did that pace come from? 59 from Hamilton, 59. Okay, so I'm not even quicker. Shit. Sandwich. Maybe I could push the mediums further and I'm just not. Oi. 16 seconds in 10 laps. Or 11 probably. 11 laps. Whew. It's gonna be difficult, man. It's gonna be pretty difficult, actually. So, what we have learned today. Last time I learned. I don't know what I learned last time, but the time before that, never use a fresh set and a quali set at the same time. Like, never start one side fresh, one side quali. That's what I learned in that race. But right now I'm learning that you can do quali rear and fresh front. That works. That's what I'm driving right now. Fronts are new and the rears are from quali. So... this is nice now because now I have a pacer ahead of me. I can use this guy as a pacer to be like, okay, how fast can I go without crashing? That is very good, actually. Or I just do this and almost crash. I mean, yeah, the front damage isn't happiness inducing, but 56 now. I gained 4 seconds, and okay, so it should work now. It's still damp though. So 40 minutes of dampness. Okay. Shanks, sorry. Who's behind me now? Who's this? Who is this? Wait. I should shift instead of looking behind me. Okay. Well, I mean, P7 catching P6. First time ever doing Sebring in a hypercar in the wet. Not bad. In a split one league race. I mean, I think I did drive the Ferrari a couple times on Sebring before, but I know for a fact that I've never driven the Peugeot on Sebring before. P4's behind me, is right behind as well. Ugh. It's not good. Chill, bro. There's a straight coming. Yeah, you're 0.4 behind me. I'm not going to lift like half. I'm not going to lift half an hour. Actually, just do that. It'll work. Fuck! What the hell? No, the fucking suspension. No, don't get. Oh well. Ah, that's over. Either I got on the wet or the suspension gave up. Fuck. Well, now the tires are warm though. 90 degrees. Well, that's the way to warm the tires. I should have thought of that earlier. I should have spun. Actually. I should have done... No, I should have just done a couple of donuts outside of the pit lane, get my rears hot, and then I can go. Lol. It's a more valid strategy than this. Oh, I have no idea what that was. Okay, 5. Oh, that was a big oopsie, though. I mean, I don't have rear wing damage, so it's all good. Okay, I think it's going to be tricky to impossible now to catch Hamilton. But... Thing is, there's nobody behind me that's of relevance, so... I can just go. Let's see. I lost 6 seconds, though, which is pretty painful. But I need to do at least 2 seconds a lap now on Hamilton. Okay. Oi! I mean... I have to say... Obviously it is Sebring, so it's a pain anyway. But I have to say, in terms of stability, with those like random snaps, obviously I've never driven the track before and all that, but with those kind of random snaps, I gotta say that the Genesis does that a lot less. And the Genesis, you can catch the Genesis, right? When the Genesis snaps, you can just catch it, but the Peugeot just goes. Like once it starts dipping, it's like it's already around. Okay, that guy has got the kamikaze flag in the back. Well, the Japanese Imperial flag. 2.3 seconds quicker per lap on that last one. Okay. Oopsie. I mean, I died 5 times, and I'm still in P7, so... I don't know what that says, but... I said at the beginning, I want to walk them to death, but I am the walking wounded right now. So, well, I could have said The Walking Dead, but I've never watched the show, so... You know... Can't make references I don't understand. But yeah, let's see. 12 seconds. The gap should get like larger between the medium and the wet now. Problem is obviously if I catch him like last lap. Also he's 30% energy. Is that enough? I mean, that's 3 laps less energy. I think it should be enough though. How many laps are there left? Well, it's 0.3 stints, so he should be very tight on energy. Because that means he's got... I have 10 laps. He's got 10... So 3.3 is about 1 lap, so he's got 3 laps less fuel. I have 10. There's 8 left, like 72, so he might even have to... So I think Hamilton might even have to pit because he has too much energy, because he doesn't have enough energy. So it might have all been for nothing. Or he has to like Omega save to make it to the end. Because I don't think 29% are enough for 8 laps. Okay, 2-0. I'm doing a 53 now. 52, okay. So I gained 8 seconds. 1 lap. Okay, yeah, that's on. That is very much on. I mean, here's the thing. Even if I didn't spin, how much did I lose? 10, 15, 20. So another 5 probably. So like 2 big oopsies and 3 small oopsies, right? I mean the time loss against the Mercedes was pretty minimal. like obviously the whole running wide in turn 1, I'm not even gonna count that. Overall, I probably lost about 50 seconds to oopsies this race. So, yeah, I would have still been behind Poofy on this strategy. If I would have stayed on wets and didn't have oopsies, I could be fighting for P5, but that's okay. Not bad for the first race in the Peugeot on Sebring. Now you would ask, why would you ever do why would you do 3 practice laps in a car and then do a 2.4 hour race in a car on a track that you've never raced before? Well, because I can. And because it's a 2-hour practice session that you can't stop. So you have to commit to it. It's a very committed practice session. My washer is empty, god damn it. But I have a second one. Nope, I'm getting wide. Oh no. That's not wing damage. Okay. Yeah, like obviously the damage makes the car pull to one side pretty badly, so I'm gonna have to be very careful of that. And I might not even make it, but even with spinning, I still didn't lose time to Hamilton, so it's only 6 laps though now, I think. 7 laps. Yep, 7 laps. 7 laps, 9 seconds. If I do 8 seconds a lap, then obviously it's no biggie, but whew. That was, yeah. I mean, obviously the more the damage makes the oopsies happen, you know. So but yeah, it's about a minute lost now from oopsies. But I still would be behind Poofy. Either way. If this would have been a perfectly flawless race, P6 is the maximum I would have gotten. On the medium strategy. On the wets, could have been P5. Otherwise, Komatovsky, everybody ahead, those guys are good. And I couldn't catch them. Even if I tried. Unless they made massive mistakes. Okay. But again, then there's still the Hamilton fuel issue that you might suffer from. Wait. Yeah, it's always the corners where the damaged side is unloaded that are more dangerous. Like, when I'm going into a right-hand corner with right-hand damage, then it's more likely to spin out. It's the same with the LMP2. Like, if you drive into the direction of the damage, it hurts more than driving away from. Like loading the damaged part makes it hold better, which is, I mean, I don't know, maybe that's just a complete misconception that I'm driving towards. But at least how it feels like in this corner, right, when I have both suspensions damaged on the right side. Like I can load this car fully and it's not gonna do anything weird. However, if I go into a corner that turns to the right into the direction of the damage, then whoopsie. So I don't know. But yeah. I should have just done donuts for like 20 seconds to warm up the tires and then like drive off with warm tires. That would be a strategy well worth experimenting with. Like you would need a track with a big open runoff like Sebring, because like sort of next to the pit entry there's a big field. I mean, that's the problem. You would have to do the donuts on a dry patch. But only the racing line is dry, so it fails simply based off that as well. It would be an interesting thought though. Medium grip, okay. I mean, I don't think Hamilton is gonna. Yep. See, if you turn right, that's when it starts coming around. That's when it starts coming around. We haven't had any insults in the chat for a very long time, actually. Gotta be very careful. Because the guy, the Cascatao is on me. I mean, he's probably not going to catch me, but if I spin, he's got me. He only has 18%, so is 18% enough to go to the end? Maybe. I mean, it's 0.21 stints. So it should be about 21% energy, because 100% energy is at 1 stint. So they should be 3% short, so 1 lap short. Right? Let's say save. Because they probably fueled for 71, but it is 72. Okay. Now how do we do this? I think the most intelligent way to get onto this is he's like driving on the wet patches now. I don't know. I don't actually know if that does something in the game. Like if driving on the wet parts of the tracks does something. Okay, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing you can do about it. Nothing you can do about it. I mean, Komatovsky did a 52, I did a 53.8, so even with the damage, I'm sort of... I mean, it obviously depends how much traffic there is and all. Right, but... not bad, eh? I mean, it's always that consistent 1.5 seconds off the real good people. 55 though, not that good. 59, 4 seconds gained. Cascatao is gaining quite a lot though. 49. I gotta move. That guy's catching me. He is gonna catch me. What is it, 4 laps? 3.8? Yeah, he's gonna catch me. That Peugeot is catching me. I mean, in 4 laps, he's gonna do 3 seconds. He's doing 49, so I have to do 52 mandatory. Otherwise, I'm fucked. Which I can't, because I got a lot of damage. What the fuck? Stop the car! Yeah, he's passed. Peugeot has caught me. Well, P7 in the end. I did lose a position due to all the fuckery. After all. I have to do all this overtaking stuff again. Yeah, 3.3 laps in 4 seconds. He's got me. That's the wrong one. However, obviously, fuel. That's the important part. Should be enough, though. I mean, 3% per lap, and there's 3 laps left, so he does have enough fuel. They both have enough fuel. After all. 58. And 48 from him. Shit, man. 56. We have to do 50s. Not even that. There's 3 laps. I have to do 49s. Which I can't. So the car that's damaged. There we go. Fine by me. I mean, it would be great for the ELO, right, to be ahead of driver rank number 1. But I'm already overranked. Don't want to be even further overranked. mean, points. Ah, just gain half a second through that one corner, lol. He's got the nitrous in him. Oh, well. Ugh. Jeez, man. But yeah, like, always turning into the damage makes it perform badly. But yeah, wait. Not bad. Not bad. Alright, I mean, yeah. Pretty solid in the end. Couple of unfortunate events, but yeah. Gotta say the Peugeot hangs in there solid. It's got really random spins. That, I mean, I'm gonna have to look at the replay. I don't know how random that is. If I just like hit the curb or touch the wet patch or something, you know, that can always happen. But two of those spins were like really freaking random. So that's the thing that has not happened to me in the Genesis unless it was dry. So I don't know which of those two I would like pick as the main car. I'll obviously always keep the Ferrari in the rotation because it's the Ferrari. And then fourth car is currently the BMW, but I'm not so sure. Alright, last lap. I mean, one thing I know, I'm never going to do a 2.4 hour Sebring again. But oh, and the guy behind me is already finished. So I could do a couple of victory donuts before the finish line. Nah. But yeah. Oh yeah, he has to save fuel, I think. A little bit. Because Tao is losing a bit of time there. Has to like go a bit, but he's got enough to get to the line. Again, if I wouldn't have randomly spun, which, I mean, the second spin that damaged the rear suspension, that damaged the front suspension, I mean, was because the rear suspension was damaged. So that happens. The one that damaged the rear suspension, that I'm really curious about because that just came out of nowhere. It was completely random. Don't even remember what lap it was though. I know 37 and 50 things happened. But I don't know the other laps. The other incidents, the other 2 or 3. Okay. How to do donuts on the track. Hard to do donuts when the track is so narrow. Well, you can just do the tracks, you can just do donuts like at the end here. But yeah. Let's go. Peace heaven. First ever Peugeot Sebring, and it's wet. Come on, spin. I have a P20 wing, so it's not going to turn very well. was pathetic. Okay. 49-1, okay. Now I'm gonna jump into the LMP2 and see what I can do. All those lap times. Is that, hold on, let me see. Nah. Very similar name, but different guy. So I didn't crash into the streamer. That's a win. So yeah, 37. Okay, I have front damage here. What was that? What happened? Wait, why does it say front damage? Where's that front damage? Wait, that gave me front damage? It didn't show in game. Look, in the replay it says I have front damage. Well, that could explain things because I was like, in the race it didn't show as damage, but here now in the replay it shows as damage. But yeah, I mean, you're welcome for using me as a brake. So that explains it a little bit, I guess, where that I already had front damage there. Okay. Already had front damage. I think it was the start of 37, was it? So 38? 36? Oh yeah, there is. 36, okay. Always count back one lap. What was that? It was a random spin on the curb, right? So I did get on the curb. So I did drive over the curb on the inside, but I hadn't accelerated then. But maybe it unsettled the car just enough to loop it round. Yeah, got on the curb and then... Oopsie. Okay, now. I don't know what lap the Mercedes thing was, but... Like where I slightly touched the Mercedes. I mean, the replay's gonna end soon anyway, but let's see what happened here. I'm not gonna look at all of them. I think this was the big one. That was the Mercedes goes off, and then boom. This is the big one. This is the problem. Okay, so where am I? Because I jumped the curb there. So this is the Peugeot doesn't like accelerating after curbs. It's like here I'm on the curb, I'm accelerating, and then it jumps down, and now it starts going. Yeah, that was the big one. So yeah, interesting. Guy going through. Yeah, I think I just gotta get the hell off curbs. Unlucky, that was a skill issue. I wonder what he did. Hold on, can I watch that? Man, the guy's like obviously really quick and really good. What did he do? Okay, here. It's already slow here, I think. What happened? Let's see if we see it before the replay ends. Still going well. Still going well. I mean, he must have hit the wall somewhere, right? Okay, not here. Did he do a me? No, do this one. It's all good. Maybe it would be funny if he did something, if he did the same thing I did in that corner. Just dropped on the curb, boom, dead. Where did it happen? I mean, the replay is going to close soon. If it don't happen soon, then it's going to go. Still going. Still gaining time. What did happen? Oh, there. Oh, he lost the. He lost the rear wing. What did he do? I just dropped it. Just looped it. It just had a slide here, and then overcorrected it, and then yeah, that is skill issue, but at a very high level, gotta say. It was a very high level skill issue. That's a level of skill issue that, like, the skill issue is still above my general skill. Alright, again, driver, I'm back in the middle of S2. I don't belong there, but I mean, for hypercar, I don't belong there, but for LMP2, definitely. Up. S3, okay. Well, I definitely expected one of these guys to be gold already, but he's probably like very high S3, like right at the end of it. But yeah. No gold drivers. Damn. I mean, I'm not even good enough to be S3, so what am I saying? Alright, what's going on now? It's 23, okay. I have to get up at 7 something tomorrow. Is there something interesting that's happening? LMGT3 Sprint Cup 12 minutes. Nah. Cause like, I could switch accounts and do this, but honestly, no. I could do Fuji, but it's ELMS, so it's gotta be like 5 LMP2s. 11. Well, if they're on... I appreciate that LMP3 is a dead class. The problem is, if there are LMP3s, they're pretty much all the time in Split 1, which is where I am. So, Split 1 LMP2 is always like 10 cars. So I don't think there's going to be... I mean, if nobody drives LMP3. They're going to eventually have to release that free LMP3, I think. The ADES, otherwise LMP3 is going to die completely. But if LMP3 dies, then that's fine by me, because it's just like... Three classes in a 38 car split is not enough, in my opinion. You know, like, it's because especially most of the time you have so many GTs that you have like 20 GTs and then like 10 P2s and P3s each. So, yeah. But that puts me right in the middle of S2. Not bad. 7th, 6th, 4th, 6th. Ignore that. 13, 9, 8. Literally every single race, I gained positions. 10, 13, 10, 10, 10, 12. I died. Big time. But look at this. 10 positions. 12. 12 positions. 10. I am so bad in qualifying. It is insane. Like, well, I mean, I use the qualifying session as the practice session, so no wonder. But, oh my god, am I bad in qualifying. But yeah. I have to work on the metronome man a little bit more. Is this the... Which LMP2 is this? No, I have to do ELMS, because this is a slow LMP2. Just give us a practice server, please. Just give us an open practice server. It could be so easy. Okay, medium, saturated. Let's see. What was it? 49.1, right? The best race lap with the... Okay. I'm going to put in, just to make it a bit fair, I'm going to put in like 30 liters. Do I have a setup? I don't actually have a setup. Oh, I do have a setup. Okay, load. P8. How's this looking? 80. Okay, this is an older setup. where I still used 80. Now I use 85 for the LMP2 mostly. Just standardize it so it's simple. So we're gonna save that. Save setup. Right. I'm gonna save it at 85. Just to get like you can put it down to like 80 on some tracks, but I'm gonna close that. I'm gonna open the radar blinking a little bit more. I have no idea what the dampers and the suspension do. I also don't know what the roll bars on this do. Like the way they're called doesn't make any sense because the hypercars is just P1, P2, P3. But here you have to like guess 7.5, 8.6, 10, 11. I mean they're sort of numbered SH, HH, but they don't make sense. So whatever that says, I don't know what it does. So we've got the setup loaded. Just put in 30 liters and the wheels upside down. And let's go. See how many laps it's going to take me to do a 48. If I don't do it in 10, then I suck, and I need to go to the racing gulag. Alright. Obviously, this server has different parameters, mostly. It is a bit colder. The grip's the same, and yeah. Let's see. Obviously, the first one's just tire warming, so even though I basically set up the race weekend to act as sort of practice, but I mean, this thing, like, it just turns so beautifully. To change the mental braking points now to a lot further forward. Okay, I mean this is probably gonna be like a 50, 51 or something. So just Yep. I mean the feeling is like, oh my god. So good. Now, with the LMP2 you have to be careful of the bump though. To go like deeper around, to drive around the bump. $46, $47, $48, $49, $49.7. Hey. Literally the first lap. Just 0.6 off. And the first lap was completely bungled and the tires aren't there yet. That is insane. Purple. Okay. Slow there. Oi, oi, oi. This lap's not it. What the hell are track limits? I mean, it is quicker than the previous one because of track limits, so it doesn't count. But yeah. Let's see. Let's have a 49.5. Obviously, I'm sort of warmed up, so it's not a very fair comparison, but what am I doing? This ain't a hypercar no more, Doom. Yes. Yeah, I'm still not gaining those magical 3/10 that are just gonna come out of nowhere soon. Also braking like an hour early, and then going too deep. I'm braking early and I'm going deep. That is perfect. Alright. Shocking. This is the second push lap, because obviously first one tire warming and lap 1 is 0.2 of a lap. So it's lap 3 by any and all official measures. Yeah, almost. Too late on the gas there. I mean, I did 3 warm-up laps with the Peugeot before the race. So these are my 3 warm-up laps now. And I'm already... Like, this is a car that's a second a lap slower than the hypercar. And I'm already, like, easily cruising at hypercar race pace. And I'm basically screwing up every single lap anyway. And I'm still almost there. Not quite. There's half a second. And that's a 48. If I get it home exactly like this, it's a 48. And I don't, so I'm stupid. Yeah, accelerated too early after the apex again. Accelerated way after the apex again. But yeah, lap 4. Seven tenths. I mean, I've got 30 liters as well, so it's not like it's completely unbalanced. 48.7. There's more in this. I might already have it, but that was not a good lap. That not either. Pretty bad way out of there. I go. This is whenever I go from the hypercar to the LMP2, I always just go deep. With the LMP2 for a while. Nah, this one's not it. But I mean, I already did it anyway. This is just for the memes. Let's see if I can do even if I can go even quicker. This easily. There's another tenth that I gained. But I'm losing again. And you can catch this car, like it doesn't randomly go as well. I had to try some stuff in this one. Yeah, like now I hit the acceleration on the apex and time is going down. Oh boy. Slide. Slide on the back of the car. 2 purples. It's the thing, like you can just yoink this car into the corner so hard and it will not break. Or just go deep. It's fine. Damn, this thing's good. I also haven't driven Sebring LMP2 in like half a year, I think. So, I mean, this is not really good, but man. I'm basically doing the same lap time in Hypercar and LMP2. Sometimes I'm quicker in the LMP2. And yeah, I'm like, the problem is the Hypercar goes 2 seconds quicker than that, and the LMP2 goes a second quicker than that. Yeah, I mean, again, look at that time gain up there. That's why I suck at qualifying, because I get, like, I have good lap-to-lap consistency, but awful corner-to-corner consistency. Like this. Actually, wow, that's a pretty big gain, damn. Okay, interesting. Just about... Literally just throw it in. Confidence. Literally half a second. And then lose it again because I keep going deep on this corner. I don't know why. Literally just throw it in there. I'm still 2/10 up and I went lawn mowing. That's insane. Fuck it, I'm going for a 47. Let's see if I can. How long it's gonna take. If I'm gonna get there. Probably won't, but it'll be hilarious. It's like, as you can see, that is half a second in turn 1. Obviously, if you push like that, lock up, and that means race over in the LMP2 currently. Luckily, this is a test service, so, or sort of. So that's okay. But that's okay. That's what happens when you push, or when I push. Too hard. All the way. Millimeter deep. Let's see. I mean, obviously this is now a lot more practice laps that I did in the Peugeot. So at this point it doesn't count anymore. But, as evident, I've already proven my point by going 4/10 quicker than an hypercar in lap 4 or 3 even. Yeah, that wasn't good. That was too late. I threw it in too late. Nah, not today. I am dead after 2 hours of racing, but damn. Hold on, what was the theoretical best? 45, okay. Yeah, I mean, couple more laps. That's a 47. But nah, we good. Whack. Alright. Wait, does the LMS race start now? I could... No, it's already over. Okay, it's already started. I could do the prototype fit. I mean, it started a minute ago, this one. The LMS Fuji race started a minute ago. But, yeah. If I would have been a minute earlier, I could have just jumped into Fuji. Okay, that's getting wet. That's also 75 minutes. Pretty slow here, right? Yeah, I'm pretty slow here. 33-1. I only did it once, though, so no practice. No, I actually did it twice, because the one time I died. Well, I was died. But, yeah. 32-2, yeah. I'll do it again, I'll be here. Which is kind of crazy. Well, I mean, P7 in a car I've never driven on Sebring before. P7 in a car that I've never driven on Sebring before. A car that I haven't really been driving much at all, really. I mean, I've mostly been driving the Genesis when it comes to hypercar. I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, obviously a lot of other guys had trouble, but that always happens, so... The only trouble was me. I was a lot of trouble, but... Yeah. I think... I'll never do this again, 2.4 hours, unless I do it in the LMP2. I'll just like, whatever. If they do a 6-hour ELMS race, I'll just do that solo. Well, not 6, but I'll probably do a 4-hour ELMS solo if I ever get to it. Right. 6 hours is just too much. You need friends for that, and I have those, but those are slow. So, with that said, well, what's the next one? I forgot to check what the next one is if I do this next Sunday. But yeah, I'm probably not gonna race until next Sunday then. But I'm gonna have a look. Hold on, I'm gonna close the door already. But yeah, let's see what the next one is actually. Forgot to check that. I can't. Okay. This is like, yeah. Fix your game, Limo Ultimate. Fix your game. Or your anti-cheat, rather, in this case. But I hope that's going to get better in time. And maybe at some point you can restart the game. Be able to go back into online without having to restart the entirety of Steam. But that's a wish list for I don't know when. And whatever next week is, I don't know. If it's good, then I'm going to race it, of course. If it's... yeah. If it's like Coda or something, then obviously I'm not going to race it. But... or maybe I'm going to torture myself with 2 hours of Coda, just force myself to learn it. But probably not. So maybe I'll stream Limo Ultimate again next Sunday. Who knows? Depends on when I'll play it the next time for a bit. And yeah. Thanks for watching, and see ya!